Now from someone who may lose his job to someone who will lose, well, we lost to Rugby League, and that's Joey Manu. Now, we touched on it last week when he signed for Japanese Rugby. There is talk that he might be back in Rugby League as soon as next year. I hate this. I hate it, Terry.
I can't see it happening for two reasons. Joey Manu is going over to play rugby in 2025, and at the end of their season, I don't see him back at the Roosters. I see him signing for a Super Rugby team so he can get that All Black spot for the 2027 World Cup. I think this is just like the last hope that people have that Joey Manu will come back to Rugby League, because James Tedesco's still there next year. He's not going to come back. And also as well, like, I know rugby in Australia may not be strong, but rugby in New Zealand is still pretty strong and they've got the money there. And the All Blacks are going to be all guns blazing to try and get the World Cup back. Mm-hmm. I think we've lost Joey Manu to rugby.
Now, playing devil's advocate, what if he does want to come back? Because I think if you play rugby next year, you're rugby locked for the year. You can't play and cash up and then come back to the Roosters on $100,000 and try and pinch you to premiership.
Well, the Roosters did know that the NRL said that it would be half of his current value, which would be $500,000, and the Roosters have said that they will put $500,000 aside on the basis that Joey Manu can sign for them before the cap deadline. Otherwise, they will use that to sign a player and promote players from within. So it's not as if he's going to come back for $100,000 and a bag of chips like Mark Gasnier did that year when he was in French rugby and came back to the Dragons. So he will be paid his prorated worth. I just
so it's close to loophole, but I'm not okay with that.
I'm not okay with it.
If you play rugby for a year, you don't get to come back, and the Roosters don't get to say, "Oh, we'll wait to see if Joey Manu is available." Same as the Titans can't say, "Oh, we got to spare $600,000 if you want to come in early." If you play rugby next year, you're playing rugby next year.
You know what though? You know what? If he didn't come back to the Roosters, and he did go to the Titans or the Tigers or Newcastle or somewhere, other than the Roosters, I'd probably be okay with it. But it sounds like the Roosters want to have their cake and eat it too. Yeah, you can go to Japanese rugby, then you can come back to us. And go to Japanese rugby one more time and then come back to us, and then Teddy will retire and you can have the contract at the back there. Circumstantial, I know we're saying ifs. I think he's going to rugby.
I'm just going to double down. If he does this, it's a joke, because this is the easiest way to cheat the cap. Oh, you want to pay an extra $1 million, do you? Go play Japanese rugby for 6 months and come back and we'll pay you what you've done. You can't double dip. Go play rugby. Stick with rugby. Good luck to you. Game's fair.